and welcome to Asinine. We're glad that you actually clicked on this video.
We're really not sure why.
It's kind of funny, you're listening to something fucking called Asinine. But we really wanted to bring you in here today and tell you why Asinine. We're an independent media source funded by us and people that we love and care about. And for us to have something independent that's not structured by somebody else is awesome because we get to choose our topics. We get to provide a press that's completely unbiased by somebody who has their own opinions, and hopefully connect with some of you guys out there. And hopefully within this process, you guys can kind of help us succeed in a way that we hope to exist. And for me, that's what Asinine is about.
Jesse?
I had a feeling I'd be like put on the spot like that. I didn't figure it was I didn't figure it'd be by you.
What? I like putting you on the spot. That was a good answer. I liked it. Well, by the way, which you might not have caught what the actual question was. We're basically discussing today, right now, in this video that you're watching, whatever day it is.
Don't be so meta, Chris. Whatever day you want it to be.
We're just talking about what we hope to get out of the show, what we're hoping to accomplish with the show. Not necessarily why we chose the name Asinine. I think that's fairly obvious that everything's
Is it really?
asinine. We're all asinine.
Speak for yourself.
Brand, that's so asinine. Anyway, moving on. So that's the question, Jesse. Answer.
We really suck.
Wrong. Brand.
Well, one of the advantages of doing a show like this is that if our ratings suck, we can't get canceled.
True that.
Very true. But we do get number of views, so
Do we?
Yeah, but
rated.
but we can't just keep putting it out there even
That's
if
right.
no one watches us.
We could
Which
have
is-
the lowest click.
But the
rate.
good thing about Asinine is we get to talk about pop culture. Jesse can talk for days about Conan, and he will connect with somebody else out there
Is that
that's
still
just
pop
as
culture?
passionate about
Is that
Conan.
popped?
That's
culture?
more like history.
It's a cult classic.
History.
Sorry, I'll rephrase. It's a cult
Unless
classic.
you count the
But-
Khal Drogo version.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Khal Drogo was
Which, yeah, that brought a
such
lot of
a
new fans into the Conan.
similar Conan.
Conan.
Moving on, but we could talk about anything that's relevant between the debate that's coming up with the new candidates, our outcomes that we believe is going to happen, or everything down to the science of space. Like, where is space going? Is it we could talk about anything that we want to, and on a daily basis, we can take your feedback and move with what we feel is necessary and what we don't feel is necessary. We can even talk about douchebags that wear flat-billed hats. So,
Okay.
Whoa, loaded.
But
it is loaded.
Judgment right there.
I liked
Yeah.
that is a good question though.
We've been practicing doing this for 15 years or so.
Yes,
Yeah.
in
Give or
our
take.
living rooms.
Right.
So where do you
Really
see
a hobby
as
that's
Asinine?
well, I'm hoping that the hope for me anyway is that that the discussions that we've had over the years are somehow useful or meaningful, and that when they're just trapped inside the living room within the confines of just the select group of people, then, and I'm not saying that we necessarily come up with brilliant solutions or that we always find an answer to the problems that we're looking at, but sometimes you got to put your money where your mouth is and put the thoughts that you have out there, or you're never going to do anything but sit around in your living room and argue.
We're for people. We're not for people that are all progressive or all
Well,
the
that-
right alts. Or we're for
Mhm.
diverse people with a multitude.
We're
of
for
I-
white males
Yeah,
in
they're
their
the
30s.
I think we would fit maybe into Scalia's definition of diversity, but not the traditional definition of diversity. But no,
I'm not
actually
Tolkien.
though, Matt,
I'm not Tolkien.
that is a thing for me. That is a big part of what I want to see out of the show. Kind of my goals is, that diversity aspect of diversity of opinion that we have here.
Thank you.
Right.
That's a better
Um,
definition.
Because I feel like, and this is probably some sort of confirmation bias on my part, but that the civil discourse lately is very acrimonious, and we have a lot of people yelling at each other and then just not listening to the other side. And I think it's just would be nice to have some more shows out there that show people with extremely differing opinions about things, still having a conversation with each other and getting along afterwards.
To be fair, we only get really acrimonious and really angry about pointless conversations. We seem to, for some reason, do better with things that actually have some substance or matter.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about domesticated elephants, you're going to have people storming out of houses, slamming doors, and screaming obscenities.
Why are you trying to get me pissed off, Rand?
Or English actors.
Yeah, British accents.
But if we want to have a healthy debate about abortion, maybe we can do it in a way that isn't quite so angry or hate-filled.
What do you think, Jesse?
I guess the real question is, do people really want to listen to us bitch?
Well,
that's
is
what
that
it
all we're
comes
doing?
down to. We mostly just bitch.
Or do you just bitch, and then that's part of the substance of things here.
Well, I'm not the only bitch at the table. I count at least 4 bitches.
Jesse, tell people about that.
About what? Being bitches?
No, about
How
us.
many
PC, Jesse,
assholes?
PC.
How many assholes do we have on this ship?
Oh!
There's at least 4. The thing I want to get to is I want to mostly on this show. I would like to just be honest. I mean, I don't want to filter my speech. I don't want to filter anything. I don't want to. That's not how I want to be. I don't want to be a robot, and that's kind of what happens in America's media today. Or you get these media shows where all the people on there, they just agree. I mean, why do they agree on every single damn issue?
Well,
how is that even possible? Like your only group of friends, the only people you hang around with or work with, believe the same damn thing. So they just anybody who speaks, everybody's over there nodding their heads.
Or when
Nodding their heads.
or when they actually disagree, they're actually agreeing, and it's
Yeah.
even more fucking annoying.
I mean, we're actually going to disagree, and it's not just like we're not paid by the Trump camp and Clinton camp to disagree with each other and try to give talking points
Clinton
and
cramp,
bullshit.
is that a faux pas?
That was supposed to be
Freudian
Clinton
slip, you mean.
camp.
Freudian slip, yes.
Trump
But a faux
camp.
pas, faux pas nonetheless.
But keep going, Jesse. I like where you're going with this.
No, well.
We will never get derailed on this show.
If we can get away from Clinton cramps for a minute.
Since we're talking about the
Menopause.
creation of the show, I think now's a good time to point out that at one point we considered changing the name to Tangents or something similar.
It's because we can't stay on message. It's
Like
like
right
we
now.
all
This
have.
is why we don't run any campaigns.
There are some of us members that have ADHD, and we have trouble staying
Some
on
of us.
task. Chris, did you take your medicine?
What?
Okay, never mind.
But I agree, Jesse, 100%.
No, he doesn't want to improve himself beyond his natural state.
And
That's a different conversation. We'll talk about that later.
it's honest though. There's whether it's just any media you see out there, even when they're disagreeing, they're like, "Oh, I know you're my friend, but I'm just gonna disagree, but point something out just a little bit more monotonous that's to disagree about than what you're gonna do." And it's really it's infuriating.
And
I don't want to go watch something on YouTube where they're all just gonna agree all the time. It's boring. There's no actual meaningful debate. It's like, yeah, these folks are gonna disagree
Well,
again.
no, and you'll see
I
people
agree.
like-
Yeah.
I completely agree with that too, Matt. So let's explore that. Now, you'll see, you'll even see fake attempts at balance by the media on both sides. They seem to think that anytime that you talk about something, you have to show both sides of it, or that's not fair. And so they always hedge everything as without taking a stance.
They're
in a
afraid.
sense.
They're afraid to.
That
get
doesn't
the
mean they don't
kickback.
spin narratives, but they're
afraid-
certainly
they're afraid of
they struggle to they struggle to take a position.
Because your thing
sometimes.
is, if you don't give the Republicans enough time, or the conservatives time to talk about something, then they get bitchy and they won't appear on the show. Then if you don't give the liberals enough time, they'll get bitchy
Right.
and they won't appear
People-
on the show.
everyone feels
and people are
like-
so afraid of the ratings and actually just talk about something meaningful, whereas we don't give a fuck and we're just going to talk about what we feel like
Right.
and we're going to give a real show.
Now, Donald Trump is probably not going to appear in any of the early episodes of Asinine.
We're
Hillary
not
Clinton
nice.
will not
They're not that kind
give
of
us
bully
any
yet.
interviews, I don't think. But there is something to that. That maybe we can be a little bit more unfiltered, and maybe there's. I'm hoping that there's something useful in that other people can maybe become a part of and participate in the discourse, and maybe there's some, despite the differences of opinions, maybe we can find some common ground and some unity.
It's sad that the niche to fill in media is honesty. Because that's the
Oh,
sad
man.
thing is you
Well,
just,
this is the first time I've ever heard Jesse channel
You know,
The Daily Show. That is exactly what
Yeah,
I was
that's
saying.
I don't
that's what I
like
was
the Daily
thinking.
Show.
Well,
I don't want
no,
to be
you don't.
associated with that.
But no, that's what, like, that's kind of the thing, and that's what Jon Stewart always said. I
People
mean, I
would
know
hold
you
him up
think
and
he's
say,
too liberal, and
we're doing a
he
liberal
definitely
thing. He
was
said,
liberal.
why are people taking us seriously at all?
Right.
Why
We're just a comedy
do people
show.
look at us
Yeah.
for that?
Well,
because the
media
media
is
is
in
so
such a
bad.
bad state that people are looking at us
The
when they
difference-
shouldn't be.
The difference is there's still quite a bit left. Obviously,
No, that's not a
this,
difference.
That's
That's
still
it's
a
a
difference.
relevant to
difference
whether or not
That's
the
a
media is
flavor.
driving
That's a
people to
flavor.
a
That's not a
crap thing.
fundamental difference. It's
But-
like a
but to
different
say-
flavored milkshake.
to point out that somebody else is not being honest, and then you are actually giving you're pushing a certain narrative that is left to the mainstream or may not be factually correct because it's based on perception.
But it's
But
comedy. They weren't
this would-
claiming to do that.
We would be, what I'm arguing is we would be much more centered than the Daily Show would be on anything. I mean,
Oh, that may be-
especially
sure,
now.
sure,
that's
Look how
irrelevant.
anti-Trump
That wasn't
they are.
really any of our
It's-
points.
It still
Right.
matters. But you're saying somebody who
I
has,
disagree.
no, you agree. Just fucking agree. You're best at agreeing. I like you best when you agree.
I like you best when you agree. with
Shut
me.
up, Chris.
You're supposed to say go fuck yourself, Chris.
Oh.
Go
That's
fuck
your-
yourself, Chris.
That's your
Yes.
line.
Is that no?
Apparently, that's
This is
that
the
sums
example
up
we hope to
Jesse,
set
okay.
for everyone.
I've been telling Chris to
Yes.
fuck off for
Yeah,
years.
this is
and he won't
see
listen. He
how
hasn't.
well we get
He
along.
won't go away. You just keep coming back.
And then
We're,
he's-
we're such great friends.
He just keeps talking over me. Like he just wants to interrupt and interrupt. That's what he
No.
does when he's losing an argument.
We go to like each other's
So-
houses occasionally, and you know.
Jesse, why don't you take us out? I took us in, you take us out on Asinine.
I'd rather go in than out.
But why are we having the fascist side of the table do the intro and outro?
Who's the fascist side? I don't understand. Like, I'm no more. I'm like dead.
I think
mean,
Jesse's talked Lisa was, that's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, because you guys wouldn't fucking stop talking. I had a couple things to say. I wrote them down on this paper.
Well,
in
let's
front of
hear
me.
'em.
All right.
And no, they were all in the wrong order. Now I can't say it.
No, no, well, you already said that one.
Yes.
Jesse, don't be self-conscious.
Get out of here.
And you said the thing about bitching.
This is Asinine. I hope you have fun here. We're fucking not. Do you want to end that way?
If you want to.
Fuck off. This is depressing.
All right.
We should redo this.
This is Asinine.